very good evening to you and welcome to this edition of your primetime news on MTV Sports and Shakti TV. I'm Katharina Chang.
And I'm Sandra Ferdinando. We start off with a look at your headlines.
Parliament debates on electoral reforms. Protests against opposition MPs cast aside. Developments in Sri Lanka following the 8th January polls is an example to the world, reiterates Netherlands ambassador to Sri Lanka. Police opened fire at a lorry that did not heed orders to stop. One suspect killed. Search continues to locate a girl last seen on the bank of a tank in Kilinochchi. MP J. Sri Ranga says an act should be introduced to ensure that party leaders refrain from providing nominations to the corrupt.
Ambassador of the Netherlands, Louis W. Mpiet, says the freedom of Sri Lanka received following the 8th of January is an example of democracy. Louis W. Mpiet said that President Maithripala Sirisena should be commended for his efforts to bring about this situation and should receive the praise of all. The outgoing Netherlands diplomat made these remarks during her meeting with President Maithripala Sirisena this morning. According to the President's media division, President Maithripala Sirisena had thanked the Netherlands for its assistance towards the health sector of Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, Norwegian Ambassador Greta Lochen, who is to complete her tenure next month, also called on President Sirisena this morning. The President's media division noted that during her visit to the north and south, she was able to witness a new awakening and freedom among the people in those areas. The ambassador had noted that all communities in the country have placed their faith on the President.
Opposition leader Nima Siripala de Silva objected to the adjournment motion in Parliament that was to debate electoral reforms. However, Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa rejected the objection raised by the opposition, thereby the debate commenced in Parliament today.
All
the proposals that will be presented by the government on the electoral reforms have been mentioned in this Gazette. Therefore, this Gazette has received the complete approval of the Cabinet. Thereafter, it had been directed to the Legislative Department and it has been corrected. The Gazette has not been made public. There has never been a tradition in Parliament to present a bill in Parliament and go in for a full debate.
We
debate on whether a bill should be passed or not. When that bill is presented, it is extremely important that there needs to be a complete debate to determine how the electoral system needs to be created and how the representation also needs to be allocated. Why are you not giving provision for the independent views of the members of this parliament to be expressed? If I speak about my party and myself, something that we were not consulted on and not discussed with has been gazetted.
The opposition leader raised a point. If you could, kindly refer to the article and standing orders that corroborate your claims. There is no such thing like that. We are attempting to have a debate on this matter. There are no sanctions on it here.
The government said that it was government business. We did not accept that. We were of the stance that an adjournment debate can in no way be government business. We clearly reported that we did not agree with that decision.
At the party leaders' meeting yesterday, the opposition leader made objections. However, 6 political parties that represent the opposition called for this debate. MP Dinesh Gunawardene request for 2 days for the debate.
And now there is an adjournment motion dealing with the same subject. So, if the rationale behind it will be duplicating parliamentary time by doing so, because the government has presented a electoral process, and this adjournment motion deals with same. So, the rationale that the 20th Amendment has not been placed in the order paper, and therefore this can be debated, does not take away the fact that we will be debating the same thing with regard to which the government has presented by way of the 20th Amendment.
The Deputy Speaker has issued a directive on this at the party leaders' meeting. As far as I can see, over the statement made by the opposition leader, no such bill has been presented to the Parliament. However, the motion does not make any mention on the bill as well. Therefore, this can be taken up for debate.
General Secretary of the Citizens Front, MP Sri Lanka, says that an act should be introduced to ensure that party leaders refrain from providing nominations to the corrupt. He made this comment in Parliament today.
It is with regret that I note that when the 20th Amendment to the Constitution is being debated, not even 20 MPs are present in Parliament. However, this topic has been discussed before public extensively. The questions that is before us today is that, are we as parliamentarians fulfilling our responsibilities as public representatives? Cabinet ministers who endorsed the 20th Amendment is now opposing it. Many are of the opinion that this amendment in question curtails the number of minority representation in Parliament. If this is the case, discussion should now be afoot to ensure that this number is increased. Ministers who represent the Tamil-speaking people should now speak up. I cannot comprehend the fact why these ministers are opposing the 20th Amendment now. This parliament has individuals who sell ethanol, drugs and marijuana. Who provided them with nominations? The leadership of their parties provided them with nominations. Laws should be formulated to take action against party leaders who provide nominations to such individuals.
Minister P. Harrison commented on the opposition leader at a press conference convened by the United National Party today.
මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාගේ ආණ්ඩුවේ ඉන්නකොනුත් කරේ මේකනේ. මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන
Even during the government of Mahinda Rajapaksa, he made allegations against Maitripala Sirisena to Mahinda Rajapaksa and attempted to separate them both. He is now the opposition leader. Even now what he is doing is the same. One leg on Mahinda Rajapaksa's side while the other is on Maitripala Sirisena's side. The way we see it, that is how he is operating today. What I say is this: the contracts that were undertaken during the time of Mahinda Rajapaksa needs to stop. Nimal Siripala assumed that they would be able to pass the 20th Amendment just as they passed the 19th Amendment to the Constitution. Today, with the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, Nimal Siripala is stuck between two sides. On the 8th of January, we felt the tree known as corruption. However, the roots of the tree remain. These roots are attempting to rise to power again through the parliamentary elections. It's like Alibaba and the 40 thieves. However, there are more than 40 thieves. There are over 100. The people need to have an understanding on everything.
Hema Gunasekara, the State Minister of Housing and Samudi, speaking in Matara, commented on views that are expressed over the dissolution of Parliament.
Some say that Parliament will be dissolved tomorrow, while others say it will take place today. It is only correct to say that all this lies with President. The reason is because he believes of a new system for the country through the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. A system that will decide for the people. Through that, the people will be able to elect a public representative who will be accountable for the electorate. My personal opinion is that an election will not be held under the present system.
The need to remove corrupt persons from politics was once again emphasized on the political fora today.
Politicians are persons who are wasting public funds. They are like blood-sucking critters. That is the common sentiment among the elderly and young about politicians. That is why when you ask a child who they want to be when they grow up, they say either a doctor or an engineer. Do any of them say they want to be a politician? Persons engaged in the sale of illicit liquor, moonshine, operate guest houses, drug barons, murderers, marijuana dealers and ethanol traders have slithered into politics. It is because of such persons entering the law-making institutions that the situation of Parliament, provincial councils and Pradesh Sabhas has deteriorated.
Over the recent past, a group of politicians were in Sri Lanka where they entered politics with nothing. They made it through to the urban council, the provincial council and then the parliament. 2 years after obtaining a ministerial portfolio, they have amassed wealth to the tune of millions. They now also own houses and lands in the cities of developed countries, let alone in Sri Lanka. The people of the country decided that there needs to be a change in politics because they could not stand this thievery anymore.
Another Pakistani national was arrested at the Lanka airport for the possession of narcotics. Customs reported that 390 grams of heroin was discovered in the abdomen of the Pakistani national. The Lanka airport has been identified as the main gateway for drugs to be brought into the country. Newsfirst takes a look.
Such as heroin and Kerala ganja enter into the country mainly through the Lanka airport and the Colombo harbour, and on many occasions large hauls of these drugs have been seized by customs. The drugs that were seized yesterday proves that smugglers are continuing to use the Lanka airport as a way to bring drugs into the country. The Lanka airport, which is the gateway to the world from the country, is equipped with the scan machines and other state-of-art equipment to detect drugs. However, it has been proven difficult to detect drugs such as heroin through such equipment. Therefore, authorities place their trust on the customs officers who conducts raids on such drug rings. This footage aired on Newsfirst in January this year highlights the extortion scams and harassments passengers have to undergo at the Bandaranaike International Airport and clearly raises questions on the security at the airport itself. What needs to be done to put a full stop to this?
This cannot be stopped 100%. It can be stopped to at least 90%.
What if all the means of drugs entering the country are obstructed?
Let us assume everything was blocked. Yet, VIPs undertake trips. That will not stop, will it? There is a separate terminal in the airport where they will be dropped home with more benefits. It will take another 200 to 300 years to achieve this.
Former Director of Customs Malipia Sena, an officer who exposed a number of such illegal practices, had this to say. Sometimes there can be drugs. When I was serving as customs, we never received such information. In addition, the luggage of the passengers travelling through the VIP terminal can also be checked. When a normal passenger passes through, if the customs officer feels suspicious about the said passenger, he can be inspected. If a person like an ambassador passed through the VIP terminal, the approval of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is required to inspect that person. However, the luggage of any Sri Lankan passenger excluding a VIP can be checked. We do not have permission to check VVIPs. For that we need clearance. We have not done any such inspection thus far.
Search operations continued for the third day today to locate the 3-year-old girl who went missing close to a tank in Kilinochchi.
3-year-old Udaya Kumar Yasika had gone to the Saktipuram tank 2 kilometers away from the house on Sunday evening along with a cousin. It is reported that little Yasika was on the bank of the tank while her 14-year-old cousin was bathing. However, within a matter of minutes, the little girl had gone missing. The whole Elukadu village had been shocked by the incident, and the entire village had been thoroughly searching since Sunday evening and the whole of yesterday. However, the search bore no result. The police and locals who have not given up hope for locating her continue to search the area, including surrounding villages. They say that the child was left at the edge of the tank, and the mother who arrived there had noticed that the child was missing and subsequently lodged a complaint at the Kilinochchi police. Sri Lanka Navy personnel are carrying out search operations to locate the missing child. Meanwhile, extensive investigations are underway into the matter, and statements are being recorded from the relatives, the mother of the missing child, and persons who were in the vicinity at the time of the incident.
Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka was summoned before the Committee on Public Enterprises of COPE once again today to record a statement.
Speaker of Parliament had instructed COPE to initiate an investigation on the Governor of the Central Bank, taking into consideration the motion presented by MPs demanding his removal, citing irregularities committed by the Governor over the issuing of bonds. As a result, the Governor of the Central Bank made his second appearance before COPE today. Chairman of COPE, D.E.W. Gunasekara, said that the recording of statements from the Governor of the Central Bank on the investigation concluded today. He added that the report will be produced in Parliament soon. It is a common sight for roads to be excavated after renovations had taken place on a road. Such acts not only damage the already renovated road, the restoration also takes place in a languid manner. Newsfirst cameras captured footage of such an instance in the city of Colombo last night. This is Flower Road in Colombo. The officers of state institutions as well as leading private establishments are located down this road. A group that arrived in haste last night commenced an excavation on the road. They identified themselves as persons from the National Water Supply and Drainage Board. During the work process, the official explained what was going on. We raised a manhole here. This is usually done after the road is made. It is not made before the road is renovated. If that happens, the vehicles will go over. People who do not know this are those who raise it before the road is renovated. This is for your information. This was the situation at the site this afternoon. Newsfirst visited the location this evening as well.
Knowledge is freedom. Newsfirst today opened the gateway for those who go in search of knowledge with the launch of its revolutionary concept on the internet, the Newsfirst Online Academy.
An important day for the Mahayangane National School. The Newsfirst Online Academy was launched at this rural school in line with the 178th Media and Leadership Workshop. The event was organized at the open-air theatre due to the decrepit state of the school's main hall. Newsfirst would like to recognize and commend the efforts of the principal, the staff and the students of the Mahayangane National School who played an integral role to make this event a resounding success with limited resources.
Though we are located in a rural area, the staff has contributed with human resources for this country. At present, many students who studied at this school have gone on to serve in the medicine field, the engineering field, the state administrative sector, politics and other state sectors in the country.
Today, we at Newsfirst are launching something that no other channel in Sri Lanka has initiated. You can log on to this website and register yourself. After the registration, you can follow a certain course. Finally, you can face an examination as well. Afterwards, you will be presented an important certificate. All this has been organized by Newsfirst.
The most valuable resource in the country is education. There is nothing more worth than that. Education gives us an opportunity. All of us need to be prepared to take advantage of this opportunity. Internet may have not spread across Mahayangane compared to other areas. Hence, we pose a challenge to the government to provide these areas with internet facility within the next 2 to 3 years. We have done our part. We have done what we can in order to provide the children with education and knowledge that is open free to the world. That is why knowledge is freedom. Subsequent to the launch of the Newsfirst Online Academy, the Media Literacy and Leadership Workshop commenced at the Mahayangane National School. In addition, a technical workshop was also conducted for the students by the Newsfirst digital team.
We learnt a lot on what communication is. Everything that was taught to us was important to us.
You too can register with the Newsfirst Online Academy by simply logging on to www.Newsfirst.lk/academy. After obtaining your registration login, you are provided with access to 9 lectures on media, and on a later date, we will direct a paper to you via normal mail or email to test your knowledge. If you successfully qualify, you will be presented with a certificate by Newsfirst.
Cinnamon Grand Hotel Colombo issued a statement referring to the incident pertaining to guests who had felt unwell at the Cinnamon Grand on the 12th of June 2015. The statement goes on to say that the hotel has extended its full cooperation to all investigations carried out by the regulatory authorities to ascertain the cause of the complaints.
The statement reads that Cinnamon Grand had sent samples of 67 items of food and drink for expert analysis by an independent and internationally accredited laboratory immediately following the incident. It adds that a report received yesterday revealed that the butter served at the function may have been the cause for concern. The Cinnamon Grand notes that immediate steps are being taken to further investigate this matter, including testing at the level of the supplier and manufacturer. The statement adds that the hotel always adhered to the highest standards of food hygiene and environment, including ISO 14001, ISO 22000 and OHSAS 18001, and food hygiene receives top priority as the hotel serves over 5,500 meals a day at the Cinnamon Grand. The statement goes on to say that there have been an immediate implementation of additional measures well above the required ISO standards in process relating to purchasing, storing and food preparation so as to safeguard against a recurrence of this incident. The Cinnamon Grand adds that it deeply regrets the inconvenience suffered by organizers of the event and the guests who took ill at the function on the 12th of June 2015.
Executive Director of the Institute of Policy Studies of Sri Lanka, Dr. Saman Karagala, says that the education system in Sri Lanka is not producing the required skill with the growing demand in Sri Lanka. He made this statement at the Liberalization of Professional Services, Challenges and Opportunities, Risks and Safeguards seminar in Colombo today. The seminar was organized by the Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka. The keynote speaker of the event was the Executive Director of the Institute of Policy Studies of Sri Lanka, Dr. Saman Karagala.
Skill shortage has been reported in various industries and services. The Sri Lankan education system is not producing the required skills rapidly to meet the growing demand. So therefore, FDI, foreign direct investment, and certain domestic investments are not taking place due to this skill gap. Now, filling the skill gap one by one is a cumbersome exercise. Professional labor should be readily available when starting or expanding an industry. With globalization, companies increasingly need to deploy personnel on short-term basis to meet specific project and contract requirements in different countries, often within a short deadline.
Chairman of the Jathika Hela Urumaya, Venerable Aturiya Ratanathero, commented on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution at an event held today.
We are cognizant about the cunning behavior of politicians. We will determine their next step when watching them closely. I would like to tell Ranil Wickremesinghe that we are well aware on what he is attempting to do. His primary intention is to destroy the 20th Amendment to the Constitution with the support of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna and the SLMC. We are well aware of this, and this effort needs to be defeated. This is a responsibility of the people. If the people shoulder this responsibility, we will be able to successfully adopt the 20th Amendment to the Constitution.
The Criminal Investigations Department informed the Chief Magistrate on the manner in which children were kidnapped from the Kotakena, Velavatta, Dehiwal areas and the manner in which the parents were demanded ransom during the time of war. Chief Officer of the Criminal Investigations Department, Nishanta De Silva, revealed these facts when giving evidence in habeas corpus petition filed by the parents of the 3 children who disappeared in Anuradhapura.
The inquiry relating to the petition was taken up before the Colombo Chief Magistrate Gihan Pilapitiya today. Chief Inspector of the CID Nishanta De Silva stated that the kidnapped children were imprisoned in an underground bunker situated at Chaiti Road in Colombo Fort while ransoms were demanded from their parents. The Colombo Chief Magistrate then inquired from the witnesses whether the kidnappings took place with the knowledge of then Navy Commander Wasantha Karanagoda. Replying to the inquiry, the witness said that it was possible that former Navy commander was not aware of the said kidnappings. The witness also said that kidnapped children were detained at the Trincomalee camp. The Chief Inspector of the CID further said that there were other individuals who could be summoned to provide evidence before court and took the responsibility to summon other witnesses for the hearing of the 14th of July. Since there is another case under the number 732 of this sort in Fort, a judgment can be sought after the case is closed. We still are hoping that the 11 lost lives will be brought back to us.
Former Navy Commander, retired Admiral Wasantha Karanagoda, expressed the following views to Newsfirst and said that Navy personnel were not anyway involved in any act and they were supporting the investigations.
But I would like to say categorically, the Navy or the Navy Commander has nothing to do with this incident. In fact, I was a Navy Commander, and as soon as I came to know about this, I got information about this incident. I have reported the matter to the Ministry of Defence, the Inspector General of Police and the CID, and took steps to hand over these personnel responsible to the CID.
The official ceremony held to celebrate National Housing Day was held in Tissa Maharama today. Now, the event was held under the auspices of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and the Minister of Housing and Samruddhi, Sajid Premadasan. And that's look at your primetime news at night tonight. I'm Katharina Chang.
And I'm Sandra Ferdinando. Do take care and good night.